Remember the awe when Voyager 1 launched in 1977? NASA's boldest attempt to touch the stars. With its golden record and its delicate electronics, it was a message in a bottle, hurled into the unknown by a species just beginning to understand space. We thought we'd get decades of planetary data, then silence. But as 2025 nears its end, Voyager 1's final act is turning out to be the most haunting, mysterious, and possibly transformative moment in the entire mission. After 45 years of transmitting structured scientific data, Voyager 1 has gone rogue. Its last message to Earth wasn't a farewell. It was a stream of pure binary code, an indecipherable river of zeros and ones, repeating in patterns that hint at something far beyond system failure. What happened? Why now? And what does it mean? For months, Voyager 1's transmissions were degrading, which wasn't surprising. After all, it's a 46-year-old spacecraft over 24 billion kilometers from Earth. Scientists were preparing for silence, a final transmission of routine data, a gentle fade out. But then the unexpected happened. Instead of shutting down quietly, Voyager 1 sent a massive binary stream, a continuous flood of zeros and ones with no immediate meaning and no clear formatting. At first, mission engineers thought it was corrupted telemetry or a final hiccup from failing hardware. But then patterns began to emerge, repeating mathematical ratios, rhythmic bursts that mimicked musical harmony, sequence groups that echoed human language syntax, including mirrored phrase structures and pauses akin to punctuation. The team realized this wasn't just random noise, it looked intentional. Struggling to explain the phenomenon, NASA scientists considered several theories. Some believed it was the spacecraft's systems collapsing, memory errors, dying processors, data loops. But engineers noted that the binary stream was too orderly for chaos. If the system was failing, it was doing so with musical precision. This was more intriguing. Some suggested that Voyager 1, through a rare feedback event, might be somehow echoing its own golden record signals, the message we sent into space for intelligent life. Could it be playing back its own greeting in a new form? Here's where things get strange. A few researchers floated the possibility that the signal might be responding to something external, a reflection, a reply, or even a redirection of energy. The binary rhythm, they noted, would accelerate or decelerate slightly at certain frequencies, almost as if adjusting to feedback. A few even dared to say it. It's as if something is communicating back. The stream exhibits ratios like 1:1.618, the golden ratio found in art, architecture, and nature. These ratios repeat in bursts, separated by long strings of zeros. When translated into audio tones, the binary stream forms chords and harmonies, suggesting more than data, perhaps meaning through music, a universal language. Some researchers have flagged subject-predicate-object constructs in the code. It's not human language, but it mimics our communication rhythm. Earth-based teams sent controlled signals back to Voyager at low energy just to test reaction. Shockingly, the binary stream changed subtly, as if acknowledging the input. This shouldn't be possible, and yet it happened. NASA remains cautious, saying the signal is under investigation. But unofficial voices within the mission are deeply shaken. One senior engineer, speaking anonymously, said, "In 30 years with NASA, I've never seen anything like this. It's either a glitch that mimics intention, or it's intention we're mistaking for a glitch." Physicists, cryptographers, and even music theorists are now studying the data. Reddit forums, SETI enthusiasts, and AI modelers are decoding sequences in real time. And a Nobel-winning physicist recently remarked, "If the cosmos speaks in code, this may be our first sentence." Time is not on our side. Voyager 1 is dying. Its power reserves are expected to run dry by late 2025. Already, most of its instruments are offline. Engineers are juggling power between thrusters and transmitters. The signal we received could be its last, or the beginning of a series we'll never fully decode. We may never hear from Voyager 1 again. The question now is, did it just say goodbye, or did it say something else entirely? If you've ever believed in wonder, in the power of science and imagination, then this is your story too. Voyager 1 is humanity's furthest voice, our whisper into the infinite. It carries greetings in 55 languages, music by Bach and Chuck Berry, sounds of oceans, babies crying, and human laughter. And now, at the edge of space, it may have spoken for the last time, in a form we weren't prepared for. This isn't just a spacecraft. It's a symbol of who we are: explorers, dreamers, and maybe, just maybe, communicators. What happens if we don't listen? So here's what we know. Voyager 1's final signal was binary, structured, and strange. Patterns suggest music, language, and mathematics, perhaps communication. NASA cannot yet explain it. We are running out of time to understand it. You've followed the journey. You've seen the silence broken. Now ask yourself, if this was the final message from the first thing we ever sent into interstellar space, what would you want it to say? Because maybe, just maybe, it said it. And now, it's up to us to listen. In late 2024, Mission Control noticed something strange. Voyager 1's once reliable stream of clean engineering data turned into garbled static, unreadable pulses that suggested either a malfunction or something far more complex. The culprit? A fault in the spacecraft's Flight Data System, FDS, its onboard memory and processing brain. That meant interpreting or even receiving its signals became nearly impossible. And with a 22.5-hour delay one way, every communication attempt was like speaking to a ghost in deep time. For months, NASA engineers worked tirelessly, sending code, pinging subsystems, waiting almost 2 full days for replies, only to try again. It was a high-stakes digital CPR effort conducted on a decades-old nuclear-powered machine hurtling through space billions of miles away. And then, against all odds, it responded. By March 2025, Voyager 1's engineering systems began transmitting recognizable data again. The Flight Data System had stabilized enough to send back partial science and engineering updates. What it sent wasn't just a technical victory, it was a cosmic thunderclap. In its final months of operation, Voyager 1 revealed that the edge of our solar system, once believed to be a peaceful fade into interstellar calm, is anything but. At the heliopause, the boundary where the sun's solar wind no longer dominates and interstellar space begins. Voyager 1 expected a gradual decline in solar influence. Instead, it found chaos. Plasma densities spiked without warning, suggesting massive compression. Radiation bursts surged through what should have been quiet space. Particle densities oscillated with strange repeating patterns, not random noise, but a structured turbulence. The transition wasn't a boundary. It was a battlefield between the solar system and the galactic medium. And Voyager 1 was right in the middle of it. As the scientific world reeled from the heliopause revelation, Voyager 1's trajectory began to raise eyebrows. Despite being in open space with no nearby stars, no planets, and no visible mass, it was being nudged. Not a malfunction, not a glitch. A subtle, consistent deviation in its expected path. The cause? An unknown gravitational influence from a region of space that appeared completely empty. Even after exhaustive scans, radio, infrared, visual, astronomers found nothing. No heat, no mass, no light, and yet a pull remained. Something was there, something invisible, unaccounted for, but real. Struggling with this new frontier. So are NASA and every astrophysicist reviewing the data. For decades, our models have portrayed the solar boundary as relatively tame. Voyager 1 has demolished that assumption. What it uncovered points to a much more dynamic, violent, and unmapped zone at the edge of our system. And the gravitational mystery, that's something else entirely. It may be a dense pocket of dark matter, a remnant of a collapsed or undetectable object, or a new structure in space that science hasn't even begun to define. This isn't science fiction. This is peer-reviewed mystery unfolding before our eyes. The scientific community isn't holding back. A NASA systems engineer called the final data the most puzzling transmission in mission history. An astrophysics professor at Caltech suggested this might indicate unseen mass structures influencing local space-time. Mission controllers described Voyager's persistence as a whisper from a place we may never touch again. In early 2025, NASA made a hard decision. To keep Voyager alive a bit longer, they shut down its cosmic rays subsystem, sacrificing valuable scientific output to conserve energy. Its radioisotope thermoelectric generator, RTG, loses about 4 watts per year. Only minimal instruments remain online. Its final silence could come any day. What it sends until then could define the next chapter of space exploration. Or, perhaps more hauntingly, leave us with questions we'll never answer. Maybe you're someone who believes the universe still holds secrets. Maybe you felt that quiet doesn't mean nothing. It means waiting. If you see wonder where others see data, if you believe exploration isn't about answers but discovery, then this story is for you. Voyager didn't just travel. It endured, persisted, and finally spoke truths no one expected. Let Voyager 1's journey fade into history, and we risk losing hard-won data about the nature of space itself, ignoring signs of dark mass influences near our solar system, abandoning the idea that machine-built legacy can outlive human presence. This isn't just about a spacecraft. It's about the spirit of persistence, about the cost of not listening when space whispers something strange. You've followed Voyager from Jupiter's storms to Saturn's rings. You've watched it cross into interstellar space, breaking record after record. Now, as its final power fades, it offers not closure, but a doorway, a collapsing heliopause, a gravitational phantom, a spacecraft that should have died years ago, still reaching, still revealing. You've seen the journey, now carry its message forward. The edge of everything isn't an end, it's a beginning. For decades, scientists believed the heliopause, the boundary where solar wind meets interstellar space, was like a fog fading into the night. But Voyager 1 says otherwise. Its last transmissions were filled with intense pressure spikes, blasts of radiation, and erratic plasma behavior. Instead of calm, it encountered massive fluctuations in particle density, like cosmic waves crashing against a shore, electromagnetic turbulence that makes Earth's magnetosphere look like a pond, a rhythmic oscillation, like the heartbeat of the galaxy itself, pulsing against our solar skin. This isn't a boundary, it's a battlefront between the known and the unknown. Then came the turn. Literally. Voyager's trajectory showed an unexplained drift. It wasn't just gravity from distant stars. Something was tugging at the spacecraft from a region of space completely empty of visible matter. No stars, no planets, no radiation, no detectable mass. Yet the probe is being drawn there, pulled by a force we can't explain and can't see. Some say it could be dark matter. Others whisper of a rogue black hole. But the evidence doesn't fully support either theory. Whatever it is, it's there, and it defies everything we thought we knew. As Voyager's systems scanned the heliopause, something else happened. Something weirder. A lattice-like geometric pattern was detected. Something faint, structured, and terrifyingly ordered. At first, it seemed like a sensor glitch, but then it responded. Every time Voyager scanned, the pattern shifted, not randomly, deliberately, as if it knew it was being observed. Quantum AI systems analyzing the data flagged the behavior as non-natural. No known cosmic process behaves like that. Some scientists now believe this could be the first real evidence of quantum gravity, or something even stranger, a cosmic architecture that interacts with perception. The implications, earth-shattering. For centuries, science was built on the assumption that space behaves in predictable, measurable ways, that gravity has limits, that empty space is, well, empty. But now, gravity is acting without mass. Structures are responding to observation. The solar boundary is more war zone than wall. If our current physics models can't explain these behaviors, we need new ones. Fast. But how do you write equations for something that might be conscious of being measured? It's not just one lab or one theorist shouting into the void. The world's top minds are now taking this seriously. NASA has confirmed Voyager's anomalous drift and particle spikes. Independent quantum physicists are publishing models about observer-responsive structures. Even skeptics are admitting, this isn't noise, this is data, and it's disturbing. From MIT to CERN, researchers are holding emergency seminars. Debates once considered fringe are now mainstream. And one thing is clear, Voyager has pierced something real. Here's the countdown that should keep you up at night. Voyager 1 has less than 5 years of operational life. Its radioisotope power supply is weakening, fast. Once it's gone, we won't reach that region again for decades. We are watching a once-in-a-civilization moment, and if we don't act, we may never get another. This isn't science fiction. It's now, and the window is closing. If you're someone who believes in truth beyond textbooks, feels the call of the unknown, wonders what lies at the true edge of existence, then this story is about you. Voyager wasn't just a NASA mission. It was a human one. It carried our music, our greetings, our story. It left Earth not just to gather data, but to whisper into the cosmos. We are here. We are listening. Now, for the first time, something might be whispering back. The implications are cosmic. If the heliopause is active, what else is? If gravity pulls without mass, are we missing entire forms of existence? If space responds to observation, is reality more like a mind than a machine? And if Voyager has seen the first proof of structured space, what's on the other side? A multiverse? A simulation? A cosmic intelligence? No one knows. But now, no one can say it's impossible. Voyager 1 left Earth over 40 years ago, carried by hope and curiosity. And just when we thought it would die quietly, it gave us its greatest message yet. The universe is not what we thought. And maybe it never was. In its final breaths, Voyager is challenging everything we believe. Physics, perception, and the very fabric of reality. It may not survive long enough to explain it, but maybe that's okay, because now we know what we never dared to believe. The edge of our solar system isn't the end. It's a beginning. This isn't just a scientific discovery. It's a turning point, and we're living through it. Demand continued funding for deep space research. Support missions that push boundaries. Stay informed. Stay curious. Stay ready. Because if Voyager can whisper from the edge of everything and change the world, so can you.